It is time for Popped or Flopped. Today is Monday. We can check out the movies that came out on Friday, November 28th, and see how they did. I said Zootopia. If it could make enough, it could knock Wicked out because Wicked isn't getting good reviews. Seems like it's done just that. A $160 million opening. Wow. That's crazy. Even though Wicked is in second place with double that. They're going to hit 300, 400. Wicked, what do you think? The first one made a lot. Do you think this one has the same, chance or not to make $500 million? I feel like it's not, I don't think it's bad. It's just not as good as the first one. Therefore, it should probably make half. I would say it's going to make 500 million before they pull it. But Universal could leave it for a while. I bet you Wicked's going to be there all throughout January? I don't know. You think Wicked's going to last this December, the whole month? I think Wicked will still be in theaters the first week of January. For sure, I guess. But it's going to have moved down to like 7th or 8th place. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. If there's no other big movies coming out, it should do fine then. Let's see. And then The Eternity came out from A24. 5 million. So, but it dropped all the way to 6th place. And then Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knives Out film, only made 2 million. And it dropped down to 8. I don't know. This movie has some weird reviews for sure. Maybe that's what's affecting it. But I guess it's kind of weak in comparison to the first two. It seems it's only in 600 theaters though, right? Look, it's in 600 theaters though. So that's probably really affecting it though. So now we can check out some new reviews for these three films. So here is Zootopia, has 160 reviews, mostly high. And then we have, 160 reviews. Pretty cool. 9 out of 10 stars, better than the first. Wife decided to drag the whole family to watch Zootopia. And guess what it delivered? Not only that, it was a great film and had all action, comedy, heartfelt moments, and also a good storyline. Characters were funnier than before. And the fast-paced action kept the movie from feeling long or dragged out. I can truly say this is a movie that's better than its first. Recommend all to watch it with your friends, families, and your little ones. That's some weird writing. 7 out of 10 stars. The first Zootopia was perfection. This one is not. But he still gave it a high rating. After almost 10 years, a new Zootopia was being released, and so I thought Disney took their time to really outshine the first one, as it's a top 5 Disney for me. Unfortunately, it falls in the same trap as other sequels, where they try to incorporate more characters and crazier plots. The plot just moved too fast and nothing really stuck. They could have spent more time in the new marshlands and those characters, but the audiences moved to the next plot trigger rather quickly without caring for them. Overall, the story is very weak compared to the first one and doesn't stick the landing. As others have pointed out, the chemistry between Judy and Nick could have been portrayed better as it evolved, but you still gave it a 7 out of 10. I feel like people are not being honest in that, they don't want to offend the studio, but you have to be honest. I think this guy really means, I think this guy means a 6 or maybe a 5.5, then a 7. So, I don't know. 6 out of 10 stars, kind of mid. The movie is nice, but not as captivating. For example, the therapy aspect is interesting, but it kind of fell flat to me. Everything kind of seems kind of choppy, so they could fit everything in as much as possible. It doesn't do anything for me. There's not anything groundbreaking, but nice character progression. and good detail, but I mean, they obviously spent a pretty penny on this for sure. Wow. 10 out of 10. A sequel that is equally as great as the first one. Zootopia is the animated movie I have needed to feel Disney magic again. Shakira's new song get me vibing. Judy and Nick chemistry goes stronger in the sequel. The new characters are a huge impact, but Gary the Snake became my favorite new character. Disney has brought back the magic to us with this colorful, dramatic, and comedic sequel to one of the biggest blockbusters in animated movies. The next one is, I still think snakes are yucky. Very worthy sequel to the original. The sloth, such an important part of the first picture, doesn't show up until the near end of things. Michael J. Fox is listed as having played a minor role as Michael Fox, but Disney can lay off on the last-minute traitor thing that began in Frozen 2. It's getting old. Macaulay Culkin assists as one of the Lynx family members. Yeah, there's a Iberian lynx in the movie. Luckily for the movie, the biggest new creation, The Beavers, scores a bullseye. That's a weird review. 6 out of 10 stars. Zootopia 2 is a continuation of the 2016 film. The sequel has its strengths as well as weaknesses. On the positive side, the creators handled the story well. It's interesting to watch the rabbit and the fox working together again. The music is good and fits the atmosphere nicely. The story itself is rather average, which wouldn't be a problem if the film relied more on action. Here, however, the action feels weaker. Some of the jokes meant to lighten the mood don't really work. The first film felt more mature. Older viewers could relate to Judy, who is trying to succeed despite everyone doubting her. The second film has a more childlike story. It's about the fox and the rabbit learning to accept each other's mistakes and becoming better at cooperating. But the snake in the story feels almost too innocent, too sugar sweet. The plot twist near the end is predictable, which is a shame because older viewers will immediately know how it's going to end. Overall, the film will be enjoyed mainly by families with children. That's interesting. It's got a PG rating and it's got some adult jokes, but it ends up being more for the kids. They should have done some test screenings, gotten that feedback back, received the feedback, and then changed it and been like, hey, let's gear it more to the kids. Let's just take the few adult jokes out and let's just make it for the kids. I think that would have probably helped, I guess. 8 out of 10 stars, fun to watch, less value to offer. It's 10 out of 10 stars, too long and stretched theme. 10 out of 10 stars, this movie was an absolutely amazing experience. Jesus. I went to watch this movie with high expectations, and honestly, this is without a doubt one of the best sequels Disney has ever made. Seriously, what an amazing film, full of action, emotion, and pure excitement. The depth they added to the characters from the first movie, as well as the new ones, is perfect. Their dynamic is incredible, especially with the plot twist from the middle to the end. My wife and I lost it, LOL. So if it's that twist in a movie, or one that you already have seen, and if it's that obvious, this guy was amazed by it. Like, look at his reaction to it. Look at the exclamation marks. like if the character has a heroin addiction and he keeps missing things that he needs to be at and starts falling behind, and then at the end he kicks the heroin habit. It's pretty predictable, that storyline where the character realizes the problem, fixes it, and shows up for the final test and graduates high school, or he's on the last, he shows up at the match and he wins, and like that. But how many of those? I mean, that's not twist-y. That's more like you're waiting for the character to, I guess, change and learn from his mistakes. But it's not really a surprise if you have to hide it more. But this seems like a very simple twist, and this guy thinks this movie is like amazing because of that. And so I guess what I'm getting at is maybe this is a fake, exaggerated review, I guess, because I don't know. 9 out of 10, not disappointed. What is with these star ratings and the titles do not match each other at all. It should be 2 out of 10 stars, not disappointed. Like, that sounds so weird. The second part, featuring the adorable duo Judy and Nick, is absolutely worth watching as well. I think it's great that they reinterpreted the characters, moving them away from their prejudices. The story was exciting, funny, and full of nice messages again. The animation is really well done. The quality is very high, and I love the different worlds and colors. The only thing that's a bit annoying is Shakira's singing, but well, they wanted to have a celebrity under their banner, so I can forgive it. Is it like a musical? 10 out of 10. That was amazing. Jeez. 4 out of 10 stars. An remarkable movie. Not as good as Zootopia 1. Okay. 9 out of 10 stars. Glad I saw it in IMAX. Would highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Great animation and plot series. Interesting. Huh. So then maybe the first one is fake with the shallow twist and you see it coming. Maybe that's not real. I don't know what to believe. They should have people go through these, or they should have you sign up to this with your ID or something, so they know they're a real person, and post a picture of this person. And maybe the movie ticket for confirmation, you have to upload 5 pictures. One has to be a picture of you, one either at the movie theater, or another picture has to be the movie theater alongside the ticket, and then 2 others or something. And you have to have the images here so we know that this is a real review. Because the opening day only reflects the pull that the movie has. If the movie had enough, if the marketing worked, it worked. That's it. It drew in a lot of people. Now, is the movie good? That will continue to carry it throughout the next few weeks. So, and then soon we're going to find out if it can really carry it. And then if these reviews, if the gross, the first day gross, kind of matches what these reviews are saying. All right, I'm going to move on to the next movie, which is Eternity. It has 40 reviews so far, 41 reviews. It just got one just now, I guess. 4 out of 10, disappointing. Yeah, so this is the A24 film. They keep pumping stuff out. It's crazy. 4 out of 10 stars, disappointing. I thought the first half was slow and uninteresting. A lot of the humor didn't work for me. Everything is basic and has all the romantic comedy tropes. Even the run through a busy airport. Her initial decision was very predictable. The performances were fine, but I did not connect with any of the characters. The ending is very unsatisfying. Interesting. 5 out of 10 stars. An interesting concept like this deserves better execution. The premise seemed kind of interesting, but I feel that hardly did much with it. It's pretty bare bones and basic. Nothing wrong with a basic plot of the character chemistry is there. Well, I don't know who writes this stuff. Nothing wrong with the basic plot of the character chemistry is there. Well, the characters aren't that strong either. I don't know what was missing, but for the most part, I struggle to care and see much chemistry. Is this does this person not know how to write, or is that AI? Plus, the comedy just flat out wasn't hitting the majority of the time, which really didn't help. There was a joke about one of the husbands not liking children, and it's just really weird, random, not funny, and goes on a bit too long. That was probably the worst joke in the movie, but most others are really random like that. I really wanted to like it, but this just isn't it. This did not bring back the rom-com, as I heard some say, in my opinion. Classic rom-coms like When Harry Met Sally or even 13 Going on 30 completely wreck this movie. That's the thing. A24 is really hit or miss, but when they hit hard, and they make beautiful quality film. Like The Smashing Machine or Friendship, even Legend of Ochi. They all have such a style to them. And look, even the Maxine, X and Pearl, quality stuff. 6 out of 10 stars, cop-out ending. 3 out of 10 stars, solid enough idea. Everything past that felt like the wrong choice. Wow. God, A24, hit or miss? I don't know. I don't know if there's even a middle for A24. They either make something incredible or something that was supposed to be incredible and it's just too weird. Their style is, instead, if movies and all traditional filming is from here, A24 is from here. Their approach is so different, and if it works, it's so cool. The quality is just top shelf quality. I'll read this one. The movie made every wrong choice from what's a really intriguing high concept idea, from how the afterlife worked, the rules, world creation. These felt like they were given so little consideration it was hard to focus on either the drama or the fun, which I felt the movie needed to choose more clearly. As a result, they both suffered watering the other down. The casting was questionable. Didn't feel much chemistry between any of the three, and in particular the original husband and wife. I struggled to see what either saw in her, to be honest. tone was off. It felt like it was trying to mimic Defending Your Life, but it just didn't work. Whereas Defending Your Life was more comedy, this was more drama heavy with a series of running jokes that weren't terribly connected to the story and hence fell flat. Again, really like the concept. They just took it and made it small, ill-defined, and both unemotional and not funny. Like the attempt, strongly didn't respond to the execution. Some weird writing on this review, but interesting. I thought it didn't do the cliche stuff. I thought somebody said it doesn't do the cliche stuff of a rom-com. So 8 out of 10, very cleverly written. 3 out of 10, 8 out of 10. What do you believe? Complete opposite. And this guy wrote a novel. Oh my God. Elizabeth Olsen delivers one of her strongest post-Marvel performances in eternity, a film that initially invites skepticism but quickly proves itself far more compelling than expected. After several uneven projects following her tenure as the Scarlet Witch, Olsen steps into a role that allows her to fully showcase her emotional range, grounding a story that is both stylistically bold and thematically rich. What begins as a seemingly straightforward narrative gradually transforms into something far more layered, offering twists that genuinely surprise and a character journey that becomes increasingly absorbing. The screenplay is impressively sharp, weaving misdirection and shifting allegiances in a way that keeps the viewer actively engaged. Its strongest attribute is its structural design. The film cleverly allows the audience to choose which emotional thread they follow, positioning both sides of its central conflict as equally persuasive. This pick-your-side storytelling device adds an interactive quality to the viewing experience, making the moral and emotional stakes feel deeply personal rather than abstract. Directorially, the film succeeds in balancing a cast of distinct personalities without oversaturating any one dynamic. Every character is given space to breathe, and the interplay among them creates a rhythm that feels natural rather than crowded. The central question, whether one aligns with Larry or Luke, becomes the heart of the narrative, and the film smartly allows the character to lead into whichever perspective resonates most. It is a rare case where the screenplay trusts viewers to interpret the emotional cues themselves. Anyways, the portrayal. The film also raises existential questions that linger long after the credits roll. What does it mean to spend eternity with someone or in a particular state of being? How do you choose a path when both options offer drastically different futures? These themes are approached with surprising clarity, and the emotional weight of the film consistently feels earned rather than forced. Despite not being flawless, the totality of this experience is powerful enough to leave a lasting impression. So you can read the rest. 8 out of 10 stars, an eternity to reflect on this emotional film. Likes the acting, the concept, the messages, the comedy, the music score, the pacing, summary, whatever. However, it's all about the mushy life lessons. Eternity has a dark comedy side befitting of A24's chaotic humor. As for the acting, the case accomplished much with the characters they ironically brought to life. Turner's role is enjoyable. Olsen is a bit more dramatic, hitting elements that are perfectly fitting for the scenario. As for Teller, the man knows how to take his foundation and adjust it to fit the character. In this case, his mannerism delivery had these wonderful imitations of the older man he started as, with the attitude that reflects the confusion this man has become ensconced in. Dislikes. The twisted comedy to an extent. The hard lesson of this film, there could have been a little more campiness, some deeper storytelling elements with the side characters' limited scope in audience enjoyment. So a question mark, but no commas. All right. But I mean, the twisted comedy, isn't that what you were saying was kind of funny? The comedy, the messages, the concept. Well then, I feel like this doesn't make any sense. If I know A24 can be weird, but if you open your mind to how they approach the film, it's all on purpose, you know? Like Tim Robinson acting the way he does, it's on purpose in a clever way. But if you look at it, you're like, God, he's such a weird actor. It's every move he does is carefully planned. You know, it's genius. The eyebrow goes up at the right word, and it like Steve Carell does it. You know, he can do that. And Will Ferrell, I guess, but that style. And for the verdict, it says, Eternity turned out to be one of my favorite A24 films that is not geared to being an uncomfortable horror film. An incredible cast works with incredible material, and a stimulating bout of reflection around the convoluted concept of love is a result of their talents. It encompasses so many elements, and this visual essay is able to convey so much, but still not going too far to present that material. To do so with comedy, respect, and decent pacing, Eternity accomplishes a lot and leaves you feeling a deeper sense of respect if you keep your mind and heart open. Yet, such production quality doesn't come without a price. For a romantic comedy, you're not going to get all the fun that the genre is expecting, but when combined with the somber nature of the film, may lead to less appreciation and fun. I can understand some people finding the jokes a bit too indulgent and mocking of a serious concept as death, further limiting the scope of people will enjoy the film. However, past these elements, I have to say Eternity is a film that is worth seeing both in and out of the theater when you have the chance. When I factor all this together, I give Eternity rom-com, drama, fantasy, romance, comedy, 8 stars, movie overall 7.5. Oh, movie overall 7.5. God, that is this guy put a lot into that review. 10 out of 10 stars. The movie 25 so far. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. Okay, balled through it. That might be you cried during this one. All throughout it? Really? It's been pretty good. Okay, let's check out the next movie, Wake Up Dead Man. Pretty interesting. So funny. All right, 29 reviews. This is only for the few people who have seen it at the movie theater so far. It's going to be on Netflix December 12th. So then the full reviews will come out. So 29 reviews so far. These people have seen it in the movie theater. That's why it dropped all the way down. Because of these people. They said 29 people saw this movie. Really? Get it out of here. Okay, the first one is 9 out of 10 stars, preaching to the, well, likely not choir, especially considering the group we are talking about here. So no pun intended. And the movie tries to break a bit of the formula, especially in the beginning, which is almost completely free of Benoit Blanc, which is a nice change. You don't like him? His presence is felt most of the time, to say the least. And his character remains mysterious, hilariously funny. There's quite a lot of dry humor, and I expect some religious people to be offended. The way this is made, the fact that our main character is quite opposed to the concept of religion, and so many more things here. And so many more things here. But as always, you can find excuses to like it, especially when it's done as exceptional as the movie right here. Quite the cast disassembled. So much so that not everybody will get many moments to shine. Still, they do the best in most of it, to say the least. I'd also say that I was able to sort of guess quite a few things. Not all, of course, but enough to get a grip on things. This is about giving the viewer the opportunity to guess where it is going and what happened on the way there. Just don't get too upset, especially with the sometimes foul language. Okay. Yes, not everything is squeaky clean here. Quite the opposite, to be honest. It may not have the impact that especially the second one had on me, but it still works. Then again, I am a bit of a sucker for a murder mystery. Okay. 6 out of 10 stars. Worst of the series. I loved the first two, and I went into this film blind, not knowing the plot or cast. Really. I enjoyed it, but expected more from it, knowing how fun and creative this franchise can be. I feel like it lost its plot after the death of the priest. Fine film, but it fails to stand up next to its predecessors. Interesting. They should cap it. Do a trilogy? Stop. No more. Don't do a quadrilogy. Don't do a series. Don't do 10 of them. They should end it here. Leave it. Just go out on a mid note. 3 out of 10 stars. Do yourself a favor and skip it. Aw. Well, I can't understand all the positive reviews. Is there that many? First of all, my brother and I had the mastery figured out all way in advance. So not really a mystery. The first 40 minutes are boring, and once the mystery starts, you already mostly know the ending. As a Christian, I often overlook Christian bashing, but this one intentionally throws it right in your face. I cannot recommend this movie. I understand the whole religion thing, but it's just a movie. It's not real. If the writer is an atheist and he wrote it like that or whatever for some reason or something, and then the writer has the issue, Daniel Craig doesn't, or whoever else is in it, Jeremy Renner, he's repeating lines. Unless he specifically asks for, can you have my character, can you write stuff that I can say that is against, or that's political, that's against the left, that's against the right, whatever, and I'll say it, then that's like Jeremy Renner's input. But for the most part, like things like this, it's not real. The Christian bashing, I mean, I don't, like, you could have this attitude with every movie you watch. I mean, movies like Sopranos, it could be hero bashing. You're rooting for the bad guy, right? You'd be like, I can't recommend The Sopranos because I can't overlook the good guy bashing. That like Sopranos are the good people. It's like, it's a movie. It's a show. It's not real. It's It's fake. It's James Gandolfini. We like James Gandolfini, not Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano's a despicable person. You know what I mean? James Gandolfini made us like him, made us like Tony Soprano too, but he's a scumbag. It's not real. It's just a fake thing. But you still watch The Sopranos. It's still good gangster mafia content. See, I cannot recommend this movie. It's a movie. If it's really gay bashing, if it's Christian bashing, it's going to be in the news. They're going to be like, boycott Netflix. And is it a global issue? No. So I don't think, like, as a Christian overload, Christian bashing. Okay, I'm white. People make fun of white people and people want to kill the white people. I don't care. Like, it's just a movie. No. Some of that is real. But that's not what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of unnecessary to have this attitude to watch the movie. I mean, 8 out of 10 stars, the best of Benoit Blanc. Interesting. So, 9 out of 10, a large piece of very entertaining ham. What? That's funny. 9 out of 10 stars, a very good movie. Every installment follows a different formula. Uh-oh. There is some not-so-subtle MAGA commentary embedded in the plot. Despite this timestamp, I believe that the movie will age well due to not being overly specific in that commentary. There is some not-so-subtle MAGA commentary. So that's what the Christian stuff is. I'm interested in how Christians are portrayed media. I'm interested in how Christians are portrayed media and found the character of the young priest to be engaging and inspiring. There's plenty in the movie to engage most people, regardless of their religious/faith interests. I mean, you could see, again, this is the same thing. Like, George Clooney laughed at Trump winning. All these, Tom Hanks, too. But you still like Toy Story. You still love Ocean's 11, all of them. Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, they're all liberals. They all hate Trump. So, but if you stop watching the movies, you're not going to have any movies to watch. You can't have that be your rule of like you cannot support Hollywood or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if you're in the movies, you gotta look past that. You gotta look at the movie itself. How is the movie? Like, yes, this can be annoying. But again, if this is something like someone's wearing a red hat and they get shot in the ear, you can see what that's resembling. If somebody is at a college campus and is giving a speech and gets shot by a sniper, you can see what that's referencing, right? But if you have someone speaking and somebody in the crowd doesn't agree and shoots them in the foot or something, it can be portrayed as something else without having to be like following parallels to a current incident, I guess. But a lot of this stuff too is like, Hollywood is liberal, so they don't like the Republicans. So they do that, whatever. Even though the Republicans have issues, the liberals have issues, they need to combine all of those, and make fun of MAGA for whatever, but at the same time, make fun of the left for trying to give kids puberty blockers and cut their breasts and penis off, right? Like, so be even with the humor, MAGA has issues, but liberals have issues too. So if you're going to make fun of one side, make fun of the other side. Like have a liberal character shoot a Republican character, but after the liberal character is a terrorist or something. So there's a joke on both sides or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I think this isn't really necessary though. Because there's a lot of those things, like even Larry David did the MAGA hat on the show, Curb Enthusiasm. But it wasn't really in like a meanish way. It was in a funny way. So I don't know. I don't know. I agree on both sides of this. You shouldn't go into a movie and be like, oh, I'm not seeing that movie. George Clooney is in it and he said things against Trump. No, that shouldn't be the reason, But also, I do understand people using their platform to bash something and like a power thing. Like, I made a video recently talking about James Gunn using the DC platform to push his politics. I mean, you could argue on both sides, but if you watch the show, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe it feels like the characters would have that happen. But if it's James Gunn putting in stuff against the Republicans and saying, F you, you're a Nazi, okay, well, you know, you shouldn't be doing that, you know? Like, make fun of both sides or don't. You want people to watch your movie. You don't want to take someone to a movie and anger them. And then they write a bad movie and then you've ruined them from being your fan. Like, they're never going to watch anything you pump out. They're not going to support you. People don't want to watch Paramount anymore for whatever reason, right? You know, because politics or whatever. And same with Disney. And it's a shame, you know? Like, I mean, Netflix is in hot water with the trans stuff in the kids' animation shows. So, I don't know. If that's what's going on, it should stop. It's to the point, like, I have my line. It would be until it's like the whole movie is about killing Republicans, right? Or killing liberals even. One way, it's too much. Nobody should die. Nobody should hate each other so much that they kill each other. But, you know what I mean? I don't know. So, I'm going off on a big tangent and ranting about this, but it's kind of sad that if that is the truth, that's sad. You know? Like, I still would watch this movie, though, and base it off the story. Is the twist good? Is the character development there? Is, you know? But, I mean, that sucks, though, if that's true. If it's really happening, they're literally just, I don't know, losing supporters, I guess. So, yeah, Zootopia 2 did incredibly well with a $160 million opening. And that's it. Eternity kind of did okay, not really. Then Wake Up Dead Man didn't really do well at all. And now we'll see, because next week, or the upcoming movies that are coming out soon, it's going to be like this Friday, 100 Nights of Hero, whatever, Five Nights at Freddy 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Execution, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. We'll check them all out on Thursday. Right now, I don't know what this means. This looks like is that Quentin Tarantino's 10th movie? It seems like a documentary. So, I haven't seen a promo for a Tarantino film lately. I don't think this would be that. And then Merrily We Roll Along and Hamnet. So, like, what are these movies? I don't understand. Look at these movies. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's why I think if this Zootopia 2 doesn't hold up well, it's gonna go next week. It'll drop down. Wicked would take the first spot again. And then this Friday, do you think one of these can pull enough money to knock Wicked out? Or Zootopia 2? Five Nights at Freddy's has to make $170 million. Or $160 to $165 million. And you think these other movies are going to do that? I don't know. I don't think any of these have enough power or weight to knock them out. Except Avatar. I think Avatar is going to come in and push Wicked down. And yeah, Avatar will be there. How the Grinch Stole Christmas? That's a Christmas movie that everybody should see no matter, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like, I don't want to see that movie. I'm not into the Grinch. It doesn't matter. It's a Christmas movie. You know what I mean? Like, it should always be like an option. I mean, look at all these limited releases. I don't think that any of these movies have enough to knock. Like, Avatar is going to make a lot of money. David, I don't know what that is. SpongeBob movie in Christmas? At Christmas? Why isn't the SpongeBob Christmas movie? They couldn't have done that. Search for SquarePants. Haven't they looked for him before? Hasn't Bob gotten lost before and they went to look for him? So this is like Search for SquarePants again. You know what I mean? Searching for SquarePants some more. And then Anaconda. Marty Supreme, I thought, looks like it was doing okay. And that's it. Look at that. I think that Avatar and Wicked, it's going to hold off in the top 10 all the way to January. And then the second week here at 9th, Wicked will drop off. Avatar will still be there. Avatar might go for half of January, right? Yeah, I think that's how that's gonna go. So, pretty interesting. All right, I'm gonna end this video here. Comment down below about any of these movies, if you saw them, what you thought about them, and if you're looking forward to any of the upcoming films. And on Thursday, I'm gonna be doing the Pop or Flop. So we'll be looking at these other movies. Five Nights of Hero, Five Nights at Freddy 2, Kill Bill, whatever. So, yeah.